Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste friends. Today's topic is on trading triumph with Ashtakavarga. We would consider both the natal chart and transit chart to help us to give ideas of the right times when we can actually trade. So let me take you through what we would do today. So in essence, the significance of combining astrology with short-term trading is anyway obvious because trading is in a way gamble. It's looking into the chances that what's the best bet. So that way, the influences of unknown factors or purva karmas, the times that would be favorable to us are very much essential that we all of us appreciate. And within Vedic astrology, we have the powerful tool of Ashtakavarga, which is a combination of various, we can say, vector addition of the sum of all the benefics, those that come from benefic aspects or whatever we call, onto a particular rasi or the planets going through the Kakshayas and all that. So that way, Ashtakavarga is a very useful tool to help us in short-term trading. So we would use that aspect of it to really get to know what is the right time for a short-term trading in a particular day. So we would check what all are the benefic Kakshaya transits happening. And benefic in the sense, it is with respect to the individual chart. When we are born, we have certain Kakshaya contributions by planets and certain rashis. And if the transits are going to be along that line, we would be helped, otherwise not. So Kakshaya plays an important role there. And we would also be taking into account the Upachaya houses of growth. So Upachaya is 3, 6, 10, 11 and even Lagna you can take as a part of growth for us because Lagna always stands for our growth. So 1, 3, 6, 10, 11, these houses are Upachaya houses. And if the transits are going to go through these and we have good Ashtakavarga, Binnashtakavarga scores in these, we would be helped. So how to utilize these benefic transits and how do we check the dynamic transits of the Binnashtakavargas would help us to give a trading strategy on a day. So that's the idea. So let us check how we get into these things. So let me pull out a chart of somebody, say this is a trader. Let me go back to his natal chart and we have a chart here. And I'm getting to see he has a contribution. Suppose he is born in 1972. Suppose I check if the current time he has a benefic Kakshayas going. His Lagna is passing through Saturn Kakshaya and it is good for him. Not that Saturn is by nature good, but because Saturn has a contribution to his ascendant. Saturn is currently passing through Kumbha Rasi, and Kumbha Rasi Lagna, the current Lagna, whatever is showing here, that Lagna is passing through Saturn Kakshaya, a division within that Rasi, which is attributed to Saturn there. Each division is starting from Saturn to Lagna. It would be the slowest planet to the fastest moving would be the Kakshaya division. And in case is just 1 degree, so it is the slowest moving planet that governs the Kakshaya. So in that case, it becomes Saturn. And Saturn does give him a value here. That's why he gets a 1. How does it give him a value? We have to check the Ashtakavarga of Sat in the ascendant. If you see of that of Lagna, and Saturn has a contribution in Karkataka, where his Lagna is passing through. So Lagna is passing through a Kakshaya, which has a contribution in that Rasi for him. So that way, if we know if each of these elements, if they are passing through good Kakshayas, then he is bound to be benefited by that. And the Lagna keeps on moving. We can't be checking it for every hour, every 15 minutes here. It's laborious using Jagannathavara to keep checking it and if there is a contribution or not. So this is what is done very comfortably in our Excel today. So the idea here is the trader gives all the details. In this, I have entered the trader's details. So you basically cast your chart in Jagannath Vara if possible, or otherwise, if you know your details, you directly enter them. In this case, his ascendant is Libra, so it is his natal chart. In his natal chart, his ascendant is Libra. In case you have some other ascendant, you just choose that particular ascendant there. So on and so forth, you basically choose where his ascendant Surya is. His Surya is in Aquarius, so I have chosen Aquarius, and all those 9 planets. And he was born in somewhere in India, but then his currently trading city is Auckland, and you enter latitude, longitude according to the city where he is going to trade. So this latitude for the south is negative, and for western longitudes you give negative values, otherwise positive values. And the time zone also one has to enter. And the date of trading and the market when it is going to open and when it is going to close on the day. And the time interval that you want to analyze when it is a good time to trade or not. Once you give all this, you just click here and it would update for your details fairly quickly. Passing through, you can choose these things. Once you change anything, you have to just as a video that I did before. And this gives you at 10 a.m. his Kakshaya score is 6. What does that mean? The contributions by 6 of the planets are supportive to him in their transits currently. And supportive in the sense it is referring to his natal chart, and the current transit planets are going through good Kakshayas. So it has a good score for him that he can trade in these areas. Sometimes some Kakshaya might be missing. So let us check how this 6 arrives. You get this 6. Okay, let us go to transits. I put the transits here. You don't have to do this here. This is done here in Excel. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, whereas I get a 6. Why? Because I have put a 10 a.m. east of GMT, 12 hours east of GMT, whereas it casts for 3:30 a.m. in Vijayawada. It doesn't do it for the 12 time zone there. So in Excel, in Jagannathavara, you can't do the transits for the place you are at. You have to maybe cast a separate chart for Auckland in this case, and then check these are conducive Kakshayas or not. Only the Lagna would change according to the city. Mostly the other planets, would be, the time would depend upon, of course, your time zone. So that way you'll have to be careful. But the contribution of Lagna would change. So he gets a 7 somewhere at 10:15. But it is cast as a chart at, though I have put 10 a.m. east of GMT, it is casting the chart at 3:30 a.m. for India. So using Jagannathavara is difficult for getting the transits for the city that you are at, whereas it does it for the native wherever you are born at. So this is adding to, so which Mars is going through a 0 Kakshaya for him. So that can be got here. I say here transits in a separate sheet. So I'm basically from the same time it is evaluating what are the Transit Binnashtakavargas, what are the longitudes, and this is so longitudes, degrees, and which Kakshaya is passing through. Mars for him is passing through Saturn's Kakshaya, and that's what even Jagannathavara would say. Mars for him is passing through Saturn's Kakshaya, and it is having a 0 score, and that is also evaluated here as the Kakshaya for Mars is 0 the whole of the day. And as long as that passes through that Kakshaya, its score is 0. So it's quite a long time that would be. So areas of Mars, maybe he can say, if I check healthcare or capital goods or automobiles, pharma, these are not welcome for him. These are sectors that he can avoid. Though on the whole his support is good, for that particular graha, his support is bad. So you have to avoid that sector. Whereas for other sectors, he can go ahead. So this checks the overall Kakshaya score. So good Kakshaya score, anything above say 4 planets at least be supportive. More the planets that are supportive, that is good. Suppose if this is just to say 1, then it becomes a negative there. If it is 4, it becomes a positive there. It becomes a 3, it becomes a negative. Anything less than 4, I have marked it as bad. Therefore, Kakshaya score has to be at least 4 so that your overall health is good in terms of trading. And of course, sector wise, as I said, you have to look separately. And the transit ascendant, is it on the natal Upachaya? See, it is, I have marked a yes or a no, and if it is a no, I mark it red. And the 1 and 2, the 3 that you see here is the house number. What Upachaya it is? It is a 1 is the Lagna. So the transit of the ascendant at that time for him is over is Lagna, and therefore it is good. It is going through the second house for him after 11 o'clock, and second house is not a Upachaya Sthana, so that is bad for him. So you should avoid this time. 3 is a Upachaya Sthana. Upachaya is growth. So definitely this is a welcome time. And again, this 4 is bad. So that is earmarked here. That's so you, and also the Binnashtakavargas in those Upachayas. In Upachaya, the ascendant Binnashtakavarga, the natal ascendant Binnashtakavarga in the Upachaya, if it is more than 4 or equal to 4, it is positive. Otherwise, we give it as a negative. So these times are very good for him. The ascendant is going through a good Binnashtaka. So especially this time, the ascendant is in a Upachaya Sthana and is a very good Binnashtakavarga score. Overall Kakshaya is excellent. So these are times when he can maybe go ahead with trading. And this is all these are transit aspects. This is just at the in the transit, the ascendant's Binnashtakavarga on that particular time should also be good. Then it would be an excellent time. In essence, you will have to have everything green, which is not likely. But at least you can see areas and sectors which would be helpful to you. So Surya's Ashtakavarga, if it is positive, you can maybe choose Surya's power sector, media, nuclear energy and all that. If it is moon, you can choose petroleum, shipping, oil and gas. And all that, I have listed out some of these as a mind map here. Maybe I'll put this mind map also as a picture somewhere and put you can download that. So in essence, one has to basically click here, get the time and start trading on that, and hopefully this would be a helpful tool for you to check if the trading is helpful to you in this respect. I want your feedback because we have been putting in we already did one trading, short-term trading video before. The previous video on trading did not include the Kakshaya part, and we received some feedback from some of our users of that trading tool that we had provided separately Kakshaya tool separately, and he felt that Kakshaya is very helpful to him as well. So that's how this idea came up for us to combine Kakshaya as well as Binnashtakavarga and Upachaya all together in one tool, so that people are helped to identify the correct trading time, trading slot. So these feedbacks are very helpful. I don't find people actually giving feedback, maybe because they are not comfortable putting it in the public. So I have created a separate Gmail account for these things. So I have indicated that here, nakshatramandala9@gmail.com. In case you want to not publicly give a comment, maybe you can give your feedback separately onto this Gmail. Otherwise, publicly also you can put your comments so that others would be helped, and we can work on your suggestions as well. So try to, I will put this link to the download this file. I mean, for some reason this file has become a big in size. When I did not include some of the planets, it was fairly small in size. I did something and somehow it has become now too big to download. So if you can bear with that and download and check and use it and give feedback, it would be most welcome. Thank you very much.